Cardiovascular Institute of the South is celebrating 40 years of delivering healthcare to our patients and communities. Founded by Dr. Craig Walker in 1983 and guided by a mission to provide the highest quality cardiovascular care available, CIS has pioneered hundreds of firsts to improve outcomes for cardiovascular diseases. Through new technology, virtual care, outpatient procedures, and national growth, CIS is improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation.
Hey everybody, welcome into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're going to talk a little, it's one of the major economic drivers of our area. It's sugarcane. And we thought we'd spend a little time talking about the crop and where we're at in the season. To talk a little bit about it, St. James Parish Chair of the LSU Ag Center, Renee Nakam.
Hi.
Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're extension agent of the Southeast and Southwest regions.
Correct.
So you cover like 7 parishes, which is got to be 90% of sugarcane in Louisiana, right?
Actually, no. We do have a big area, but we have a lot of folks out west, and sugarcane has actually moved as far up to Alexandria now. So we're covering some area of the state now.
Is there a reason that it's migrated north? It's not climate change or anything, is it?
No. Well, it probably can't go further north than Alexandria just because of, sugarcane doesn't do well with freezing temperatures. Mm-hmm. But yeah, people, know how great this industry is, and everybody wants to be a part of it.
That's really cool. So so this is a big season for, I know a lot of people that are in sugarcane. This is a big season. It's called grinding season. Mm-hmm. So you said it's normally about 100 days or so.
Yes.
So it's really a short time period for these guys to get their crops in and get them to the mill, and that's where grinding takes place.
So usually the mills start processing around October. The very beginning of October, and go about 100 days. Kind of heard this week that a few mills will be done like by December 28th, but some of them may go into the early part of January. It just depends, where you're at in the state.
How many mills we got in your region?
We have 11 in the state. The parishes that I work in, we have 3 mills.
That's a lot less than we used to.
Yes,
be, right?
we have 2 in Lafourche Parish, and we actually have 2 in Assumption Parish too, so 4.
Yeah, so
Lula
4.
Westfield is actually
and none
2.
in Terrebonne anymore, right?
No.
Yeah, so everything has to go towards Raceland or towards
Assumption.
Yep. Yeah, or
in Thibodeau, we have one in
Caldwell.
Thibodeau as well.
Yeah. So, was it Potuville and Generette? That's the
That's
biggest,
still there.
the bigger ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some real big ones. I know everybody that works there. Everybody in that town works at that mill.
At the mill.
Hey, so we'll see a lot of trucks on the road. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're doing it differently, right? It seems like they're cutting the sugarcane a little smaller than they used to. It used to be almost the whole stalk. You'd see it all over the highway. They seem like they cut it shorter in the field, and I don't see much on the roads at all.
So with the harvesters that we use, it actually chops it into little pieces, which is called billets. And that's what we do now. And there's no more whole stalk that you'll see on the road. And I think the truckers are doing a better job too with safety. Like a lot of people complain that the trucks go too slow. Well, that's
safe.
That's purposefully done.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our growers and our truckers and mill people, we want everybody's families to be safe. So there are some things in place that, just like slower trucks on the road. But watch out for the cane trucks because they're big and they can't always see you. So, but we want everybody to be safe.
Yeah, the highways seem a lot safer from that regard and a lot cleaner in that regard too. And I think that's probably one of the things. We kind of had a drought here for a long time, but in the middle of that drought, we also had a hurricane. So tell me about the season and is it okay? Is all the crops okay from after getting, I guess,
So yes, sugarcane is a very resilient crop. It always comes back. But as far as the hurricane, it affected, so I worked 7 parishes and it affected all of my 7 parishes. But as a whole for the state of Louisiana, we have a little over 500,000 acres, which the hurricane affected about 28% of that. But some of the things that happened, we had a lot of rain. So you had a lot of fields that sat in the water for a while. you also had the shredding leaves, which the leaves might not take the ripener as well. And then you had lodging, which is when you see the cane is
Knocked
like
down,
looks knocked
right.
down,
But
looks
it
flat.
goes back usually,
It does come back up, and that's, I guess, one of the major, I guess, concerns is at that time of the season, the cane is working to produce sugar. And so for 2 weeks, it worked to lift itself back up. So it's not producing sugar when it's trying to do that. But we had an excellent crop going into the hurricane, and we still have a really good crop coming out of the hurricane. So I think we're going to be okay.
The combines actually picked that up too
Yes,
before it cuts it,
yes, we have some great technology that those combines get in the field. If it was way back when we're using different types of harvesters, that would have been a huge issue. But it's a lot easier now to get that large cane.
But the yields
right
are
back up.
good and
Yes.
should have a good
Yep.
season.
Yep.
So you're saying it's almost expanding. More people are getting into sugarcane. I know for a long time it's consolidated into just a couple of families. It seemed like did 90% of the sugarcane. Are more people getting into farming like they were?
So actually, Florida used to be the largest state as far as sugarcane acreage, and either last year or a year before last, Louisiana has surpassed Florida with acres. So people are picking up acres where they can, and we do have a few new families, a few people from that younger generation who are carrying on the family farm. So that's always good to see. So I actually work with a huge, large range of very much older farmers who have been in it their whole lives, and then you have the younger generation who are seeing the value in it and
Right.
getting into
corporate
those
crop,
family
right?
farms. And
Yeah, so that's a big part of it. So weather's still a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Family's still a big part of it. But for the most part, the years. When's the last down year we've had?
ooh,
It's been pretty consistent.
it's
though,
been
right?
pretty
Yeah.
consistent. Even when things are not perfect, it's still, like I said, it's still good. The sugarcane industry in Louisiana is alive and
Right.
well.
Right.
So that's
It's
a good
like the
thing.
crop, right? It's
Yes,
tough, it's resilient,
yes,
right?
And our growers are resilient, and our crop is resilient. So yeah.
Well, thanks. That was pretty cool to talk about that. Like I said, it's a huge industry in the
Yes,
area, so
it is.
like to keep in touch with it for
Yes.
sure. Well, thanks so much, Renee. Appreciate it. It's
Thank you
Renee
for having me.
Knockhand. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.